morning. How's everybody doing this morning? I'm doing good. I'm excited for this morning's topic. My kitten is jumping around this morning, playing with a little foam flower. And she's very, very busy. So that's fun. Yeah, she's probably going to be distracting for me, but that's okay. Life can be messy sometimes. I always like to say that if the kitchen is messy, that you know that people were nourished in the kitchen. And what did I say? Oh, yesterday I posted a picture that said I have a bunch of manure in my garden and I've got some flowers growing out of it. So yesterday I posted a picture that said maybe you can even use the poop in your life to make things beautiful. So life is messy, but it's also what makes life beautiful. So today we're talking about consciousness and expanding your consciousness and just opening up your idea of who you are and who you be. In order to do this, I get so much resistance from people when I tell them that you are not a physical being only. It's the weirdest thing. It's like, I don't know. It's like people just don't understand that the spiritual world is so much bigger, and our spirits, our consciousness is so much bigger. So, in order to do this, I will ask you to put aside your idea that your body is, that your physical reality is the only thing that matters, or the only thing that's real, or the only thing that you can experience, because it's just not true. You need to expand your consciousness, your perception of what you actually are and who you actually are. So if you are into the idea of meditating and manifesting in any capacity, or into the idea of prayer and having faith, you would need to have some sort of realization that you are bigger than just your body. So that brings you to a place where your consciousness is bigger than your physical reality, if that makes sense. I'm going to hop up on the bed because last time my kitten was over here. Come here. You're okay. You're okay. Last time this little girl was over here, we got cut off. So we should go play somewhere else, hey? Where's your little toy? Did you lose it? Here, Titin. There, you go with that. She plays with pretty much anything. Okay, I'm going to hop up on the bed and I'm going to ask you to try an experiment with me. I guess I get to sit back here a little bit more. Oh, I know. I have to adjust this. Here we go. That's better. Okay, so just close your eyes. And I just want you to put your hands on your face. And just feel your face. And feel your hands on your face. And this way you can become aware of your body, aware of your space, aware of your physical being. Just bringing awareness to who you are, bringing awareness to this container of who you are. Okay, so now we're going to try something else. Close your eyes again. and expand. Go to the farthest reaches of what you can touch, but not with your body, with your mind. So for me, instantly, it's about like, I don't know, 1.5 feet out. So now expand your consciousness 5 feet out in all directions from your body. Are you able to be there? Can you be aware of that? Now expand your consciousness out 10 feet from your body. Good. Are you still there? Are you still aware of it? Good. Now expand your consciousness 20 feet out from your body. The distance doesn't exactly matter per se. It's just about expanding your awareness and realizing that you are still there, that you're still aware. So try expanding 100 feet out. Try expanding out over your whole, I don't know, town that you're in. Can you still feel you? Yep, you can. You're still there. All right, so bring your consciousness back. So the idea that we are bigger than our consciousness, or I mean, bigger than our bodies, is what I want you to understand. So, two things: you are in this physical being, but you, who you truly be, is in your spiritual being. And that consciousness, that spiritual being, is so much bigger. So, when I ask you to expand, when I ask you to pull out from the universe when we're meditating, when I ask you to um, let your heartbeat expand out to the universe, that's what we're doing. We're expanding our consciousness to bigger than what we could imagine. So it's important to do this. It's important to start to understand that you are bigger than your brain, because we all do this, we get stuck in our brains when we're trying to solve a problem. I mean, I know I do, unless I try to solve my problem with the tools that I'm teaching you guys. That's definitely something that I've done before, is gone into a space, and I still default there sometimes. It's like, oh wait, no, I'm bigger than this. I don't have to get stuck in this little space of trying to solve this problem or trying to find the answer to this question. Um, we act as if we are inside of our bodies, and that's the only place that we'll actually find the answer, inside of our brains. But you are inside your body, and you do, when you quiet yourself, you do find the answer, but you do need to go outside. Your consciousness needs to expand outside of just this little limited idea of how to solve a problem, right? So if I'm in my head, I'm probably going to just think about what I can do, maybe, or what action can I take. And that's good. That's a good place to start. But if I'm outside of my head, the difference is I'm thinking with inspiration and I'm thinking with expansion. So if I'm outside of my head and I ask, what can I do, say, be, think, create, I'm asking the universe. I'm asking my bigger consciousness in that moment. What can I do, say, be, think, create to solve this problem, or to have the answer that to solve this problem, or whatever question. you need to ask. So when you're when you're in your head and you're like, how do I solve this problem, how do I solve this problem, it just it just becomes a loop. It just becomes, you might get maybe one or two answers, but they're not expansive answers, and the universe cannot come and actually reach you to answer that question because um, you didn't acknowledge the greater expansion of the universe. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you. So then the other idea that I wanted to express today is uh what was it? Oh yeah, your body. Just realizing that your body has its own cells and its own idea of who it is. Okay, it's a separate entity from your consciousness. You are one being, but your body is a separate entity from your consciousness. So your body's cells have memory. I think we all know that. But what does that mean? What does that mean for us? What are the practical implications of that? It means that we need to start honoring our bodies and honoring what our bodies want to say to us and start having a relationship of communication with our bodies. It's just kind of an inherent wisdom, and so many times we go to Google for all of our answers, or we ask our friends for the answer, or we ask, I, I don't know, some sort of an external source for the answer, but we don't need to do that. We have inside of us already everything that we need. When I say, it's kind of a confusing concept because I don't know if I'm explaining it very well, but when I say inside of you, you have everything that you already need, you also have your consciousness, which can expand outside of you. So you technically still have everything inside of you that you already need. Um, does that make sense? Okay. So it's just about shifting your awareness. It's about shifting your awareness from that tiny little box of these are the only answers that are available and this is the only way to do things, and that that little space that keeps you stuck, that default, that thing that keeps you oppressed, right? It just puts you in a little tiny space, and this is the only viewpoint that we can have. It's about getting out of that little tiny space and opening up your entire viewpoint to something that's bigger than you. And that includes your body. That includes talking to your cells and asking them, how, creating that relationship. That might be a new concept for some of you, but try it because it works. So, for example, how do this is a big one for a lot of people, how do I be the shape or size that I want to be? Body, what can I do? What can we do? Because your consciousness is talking to your body. What can we do to create that? I know that's a weird concept, right? But it goes along so well with truth testing, which is what we talked about yesterday, which is this true for me? Is this, um, do I want to eat this salad right now? Do I want to rest right now? Body, what do you want to do in order to create the size and shape that we want to be? And if you're unsure, you can use the truth testing to help you understand what your body is asking of you. Partly it's a weird concept, and partly it's about trusting the answer, right? Like, we are so used to, like I said, going outside for an external source for our answers. But what if? What if you already have all the answers? What if you could already trust your your body and your consciousness? What if you were able to get rid of the trauma that's kept you stuck? Like, I guess that's the thing. So many of us have had some trauma that leads us to not trust our bodies, leads us to not trust our thoughts, leads us to not trust our energy because we've been taught something contrary to who we really are being. So if we can find that place, which is what I do, that's the work that I do, is help other people find that place of shifting for them, of finding that trauma, finding that spot that needs to be shifted, finding that. Um, Sorry, I just lost my train of thought for a second. But yes, helping people find that moment that got them stuck in the first place so that they can get unstuck, so that they can start to shift their trauma and start to realize that they are indeed beings that already have all the answers. So coming to that place of um, inspiration instead of desperation when you ask a question. And for me, I mean, I still struggle with that. Definitely do. But it's so amazing to just watch my body and watch my mind make the shift of what can I do, say, be, think, create, generate to answer this question that I have, whatever question that may be. And then watching it just go from not having any idea what the answer might be to all of a sudden I have so many answers and so many ideas, and the shift just continues to happen. Hopefully that made sense for you guys. Okay, we're going to meditate on our consciousness today and think about what that feels like to step outside of ourselves, to step um, outside of our little tiny boxes that we create for ourselves. Okay, so find a comfortable spot. You can either sit or lay down, whatever works for you, whatever you'd like to do. And close your eyes. And just find that space within your head first that's inside of your brain. Take a deep breath in and out. Good. And find that space now outside of your brain, outside of your body. And with all your energy and all your consciousness, I want you to send that down to the center of the earth. And then bring that back up again. And with all your energy and all your consciousness, send that up to Source, to the white light, and pull that down now as well. Good, and just breathe in and out. If you're feeling any stuck spaces, just give it permission to move through. Pay attention to your breath. Take a deep breath in and out. Good, now find your heart center and ask yourself, what would it feel like to have my consciousness expanded beyond me, beyond my body? What would it feel like to know the answer to my question? What would it feel like to flow in the answer to my question? What would it feel like to know what my next step is? What would it feel like to know that my day is going to be awesome? What would it feel like to know that I can get the answer anytime I ask? Good, now expand that feeling of knowing outside of yourself, 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, 100,000 feet, and draw all that energy from the universe back in, that feeling of knowing. Good, and once it's back into your body, just start to let it trickle out with every heartbeat to go back out into the universe. That feeling of knowing. And this time, allow those ripples to ripple out farther from you than you have before. To reach the people, the places, and the things that will help you achieve your goals all over the world. And when you're ready, just come back. Take a deep breath and open your eyes. That was fun. I hope that you enjoyed our meditation today. I hope that this helps you expand your ideas of who you are and who you can be. And yeah, just be inspired. What can you do today that will, what can you experience today? What amazing things are you going to experience today? What amazing answers to your questions are you going to have? What problems are you going to solve? Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me this morning, and I will see you all tomorrow morning. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you know when we're doing this, because I do this every morning. And also check out the Facebook meditation and mindset page, because I post my announcements every morning there too. And you don't have to meditate with me live. You can always catch the replay. And if you want to get a hold of me, you can find me on Instagram or Facebook. And I'm happy to help in whatever way I can. I do this to serve. And if this is helping you, awesome. So yes, I will see you all tomorrow morning.